Aquarius workshop. Relax your soul movements. I start with a quote from Pathwork Lecture 154 with the title The Pulse of Consciousness. And the quote is as follows. The soul movements, with their innate inbuilt rhythm and lawfulness, determine your entire life. They determine your state of being, your state of consciousness, your freedom or enslavement to your images and misconceptions. They determine the depth and scope and nature of your experience in life, the degree of aliveness and pleasure, your body structure, and your fulfillment and abundance on all levels of being. End of quote from Pathwork Lecture 154. When we have the courage to listen within and learn to tune into these soul movements, we will notice that soul movements are energy streams of positive or negative feelings, thoughts, and attitudes. As a result of misconceptions and images, negative soul movements will either stagnate in an automatic reflex or move hyperactive. These disharmonious soul movements caused by hatred, fear, greed, childish dependence, pride and self-will are tense, cramped, and block the flow of life. These soul movements are not only exhausting and painful, but also create unhappy living conditions. When we release that inner tension, a flexible attitude of relaxing in what is follows. Then an attitude arises with a balanced soul movement of love, joy, trust and truth that leads to all fulfillment. Then we are in harmony with ourselves and we feel that everything is right between us and life. In this workshop you will explore with a loving curiosity 3 themes from the Pathwork Lectures that help us to relax the soul movements. The first theme, exposing desires behind fear. Healthy desires are relaxed and without force. Tense desires lead to fear, distrust and disharmonious soul movements. Beneath fear is always a stubborn and compelling desire, a demand that things have to be done our way out of ignorance and mistrust of the universe and fear of shortage. We can release and relax our cramped soul movements only when we unmask the compelling desires behind the fear. The next quote stems from Pathwork Lecture 168. Only as you can give up and let go the specific desires that are behind the fear, will the fear vanish and will the soul movement relax. For the greatest inner pain is the cramped soul movement. Thus, room will be made for the endless possibilities within yourself, within your own inner universe, for new unfoldment. End of quote from Pathwork Lecture 168. The second theme. Consciously evoke your emotions and feelings. When we have become familiar with childish emotions such as pain, anger and hatred and have processed and accepted these soul movements, the ability to let those soul movements flow freely at any time without fear increases. Then we are freed from automatic reflexes in our soul movements, and with a healthy inner will, we can consciously evoke hatred, anger, resentment, pain, sorrow, fear, pleasure, joy, love and compassion, then we can love without defense and really be touched from within. The next quote stems from Pathwork Lecture 203. When you can increasingly produce feelings, you will not only be more able to bring out any last vestiges and remnants of residual feelings that have been neglected, but even when they are completely gone, your emotional fluidity should be practiced so that your soul substance remains vibrant and flowing. I have always mentioned how important soul movements are. The inner cosmic movements that constantly go through you can only be made conscious when your emotional state is agile and you can easily remote. End of quote from Pathwork Lecture 203. The last and third theme. Observing your soul movements. According to the guide, one of our jobs is to become aware and make contact with the soul movements so that we discover what we really think and feel. When we observe and feel a disharmonious soul movement instead of running away from it, relaxation already follows. Thus, we gradually learn to change the dynamics of the soul movements. When our soul movements are relaxed, we are able to receive the outflowing energy and soul movements of other people. The last quote stems from Pathwork Lecture 206. Every now is an expression within you and creates a specific soul movement. Observe these movements in you. Do you feel the tightness? Is the movement blocked and stopped completely because of the tightness? Or is it absent in its expression? Or is it hard-edged, pointed, disharmonious and raw? Is it a smooth, enlivening, soft flow? When you feel good, happy, open and alive, the soul movements must be very smooth and soft. Yet in this very softness lies an enormous strength. When the movement is stopped, you feel dead. When the movement is hurtful, raw, edgy or pointed, you feel anxious, upset, apprehensive. End of quote from Pathwork Lecture 206. I wish you peace and all the best. Thank you.